Welcome to Thursday, another beautiful day in third grade. All right, I'm Miss Bruce, and you know what time it is? It's time to do our morning work. So get out that morning work so we can go over it. Remember, we go over our morning work so we can practice our skills and get better at them so we know what is going to be on the FSA and we can learn. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. There we go. Oh, that's what we're going to be reading today. But let me go ahead and get that morning workout. There we go. Day 4. Let's go ahead and begin. So, has you been to Nixa, Missouri? Asked Mrs. Howard. Has you been to Nixa, Missouri? Asks Mrs. Howard. Now let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. There we go. So we just see that one. All right. So has you been to Nixa, Missouri? Asked Mrs. Howard. Now, as we know, that sounds a little bit weird. So let's see. The first part, has you been to Nixa, Missouri? Asked Mrs. Howard. Has. Has doesn't sound right. It should be have. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change that to have. And it has to be capitalized because it is at the beginning of a sentence. So I'm going to change that to have. And I'm going to draw a line through it showing you it's not has. So have you been to Nixa, Missouri? Asked Mrs. Howard. The next thing is Nixa, Missouri. Nixa is a city. Missouri is a state. So you know that is a proper noun. And all proper nouns have to be capitalized. So let's go ahead and capitalize it. We're going to put 1, 2, 3 underline there. 1, 2, 3 for the state. Now, you also know that in between the city and the state, you have to have a comma there. Yes, you do. So there's my comma. So have you been to Nixa, Missouri? Asked Mrs. Howard. Now, you know Mrs. Howard is asking something, so it goes into quotation marks because someone is speaking. Since she is speaking, we're going to go ahead, put it around have you been to Nixa, Missouri? Right there. She's also asking a question. So inside the quotation marks, we have to put that little question mark and we need to put a comma to separate who is speaking from what they are saying. Okay. Now we keep on going. Asked Mrs. Mrs. needs to be underlined because it is a proper noun. And Howard needs to be underlined because again, it is the name of a person and it is a proper noun. And then we put a period at the end. Good job, friends. If you got that one right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. As I said, the hard chair was recomfortness. Recomfortness. I don't know if that's a word, friends. Turn and talk to your partners. Do you think that's a word? If you said no, you are correct. All right. Recomfortness is not a word. So the hard chair was recomfortness. Let's think about that. If you're sitting in a hard chair and you want to use the word comfort, you know it's not going to be comfort. It's going to be uncomfortable. So the hard chair was uncomfortable. All right. That is a word to describe a hard chair. It doesn't feel good. So it's uncomfortable. So we're going to use that root word comfortable and put un in front of it, which means not. So move this down a little bit. Uncomfort. Hard chair was uncomfortable. So it is not full of comfort. All right, there we go. And then of course we have to capitalize the beginning and put a period at the end. The hard chair was uncomfortable. So this one, basically, you need to really think about that root word and how you describe a hard chair. So uncomfortable is actually going to be an adjective because it describes the chair. It's uncomfortable. All right, let's go to the next one. We're doing a root word again. Write a sentence using the suffix "er" and an abbreviation. So an abbreviation would be a shortened form of a word. We use them mostly for to talk about a specific person that shows a profession or shows someone that's older, like Mr. or Mrs. We use it for like doctor or a profession, or we use an abbreviation for like street or like a state. It's just a shortened form of the word. And we know all abbreviations have to be capitalized and have a period at the end. So you're going to use the word "er." So or the suffix "er," not the word "er," because there's no word name "er." There's no word "er." You're going to use the suffix "er." So when you put it at the end of a word, it means one who does, or it can mean like greater. It's one that is bigger or better or fewer. It could be a comparative, comparing one to another. Well, in this case, if I'm going to use an abbreviation, I think I'm going to make it a person because I know a lot of abbreviations, like I said before, go along with people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like Mr., which is an abbreviation. B is a teacher. The root word is teach, and means one who does. So he teaches, one who teaches. So I'm going to put that as my sentence. Let me go down here. Mr. B is a teacher. And as you see, I use that here as the suffix, and means one who does it. So one who teaches. That's what Mr. B is. And there's my abbreviation, Mr. I did not spell the whole word out. All right, let's go to number 4. All right, number 4 says add s, ed, or ing into the word inside the parentheses. So the word inside the parentheses is jog. So we're going to do the first one and make it jogs. All right, with the word jogs, you're just going to spell the root word, and put an S at the end. That's all you have to do is put an S at the end for this one. When you add an S, you just have to add that S at the end. All right. The next one, be very careful, friends, because the root word, let's look at this root word of jog. The O is short, okay? And since the O makes a short sound and the word ends with a vowel consonant, remember, if it's short, vowel, and then there's a consonant, you double the consonant and then add the ed. So we have jogged, which is jogged, and the same with jogging, jogging. If you got that right, give your brain a kiss. All right, and I'm looking at you, friends. I'm looking at all of your work, so make sure it is done. And if you are not checking it, make sure you are checking it right now. My eyes are on you, friends. All right, let's go ahead and get done with number 5. So number 5, here we go. Correct the spelling of the words below. So you have to remember our spelling rules here. The first word says softness. Now, when we add ness to the end of a root word, it has 2 S's. So this one is missing an S. So, and softness means being soft, because ness means being, is the suffix. Ness is a suffix that means being. So being soft is what softness means, and it has 2 S's. All right. Now, if you see a merrily, the root word is merry, okay? Merry means happy, joyful. But the problem is merry ends with a Y. and the letter before the Y is an R. It's not a vowel. So since it is not a vowel, you have to drop the Y and add an I. Then add the Lee part. And remember, Lee means in a way. So in a way that you are happy. That's what merrily means. So this person just forgot to drop the Y. So it should be Merrile. If you got that right, give yourself a yeehaw. All right, let's go to the next one. Soft test. Soft test. It's not soft test. You don't have to double the T because remember, the root word soft does not end in a vowel consonant. It ends in two consonants. So you do not need to double the T. It doesn't say soft test. So it should be written soft, and then you add est, which means the most soft. Because est, plus the suffix est, means most. All right, there you go. And that is your morning work, friends. Make sure you have checked it. If you did not check it, you need to fix it right now. And if you did not do it, you are going to do it at recess. Now, friends, give yourselves a whoop whoop if you did it and you checked it. Not necessarily if it's right, just if you checked it all and you are ready to go. Whoop whoop. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, we are done with morning work, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to sit here and talk to you about what we have been learning for the last couple of days. So for the last couple of days, who can tell me what we have been learning? Let's see. In my first period class, I'm going to go with, let's do Ava. Ava, what have you been learning? All right, Ava, if you said point of view, yeah, we have been learning point of view. Awesome job. Now, for my second period class, this goes to Owen. Owen, what is the first step to find the point of view? Now, if you don't know, let's pause this video and everybody get out your notes right now. All right. You should have your notes out and Owen should be telling us what it is. Now, my first period class, it is, and if Owen, if you said this, the first step for point of view is to find who is telling the story. So let me go ahead and share my notes with you. Let me get those handy dandy notes out for you to see. And I am going to go over here to share my screen to get out my notes. Here we go. All right, here are the notes. Who is telling the story? So first of all, you need to figure out if it's first person or if it's second person or third person, sorry. First person or if it's third person. If it is first person, that means the narrator is in the story. He or she is a character in the story. How can you tell it's first person? Well, the narrator will be saying words like I, me, my, we, us. If it is third person, you don't see those I, me, my, we, us. That means the narrator is outside of the story. The person who is telling the story, that narrator, is telling you a story about characters, okay? They're not in there. They're not in the story. So they're going to use words like he, she, they, them, his. All right? Now, after we figure out if it's first person or if it's third person, then you know if the narrator's in the story or out the story. If the narrator's in the story, then you know they're a character in the story, and you have to tell me how they are feeling. All right? So you ask yourself, what does the character feel, and why do they feel that way? If it's third person, then you know they're outside the story, but you can still find those characters' points of view, how they are feeling and why they are feeling that way. You look for their feelings by what they say or what they do. All right. So, for instance, if someone goes, "Hmm," that means they're nervous, right? Just like in our story that we read on Monday about the impossible pet, Daniel gulped when he got up there to announce those pets for the first time. He was very nervous. And when someone gulps, they're nervous. And that's why something he does. So it shows his feeling, his point of view. All right. So, what did the characters change their point of view in the story? So we're gonna go from the beginning all the way to the end to figure out the characters change their point of view, and that's what we did for the Impossible Vet, and that is what we did in Charlotte's Web, and also that is what we did for the Talented Clementine. We learned in Talented Clementine yesterday that she didn't have a talent, and she was very embarrassed that she didn't have a talent, but because Mrs. Rice knew that they could find something and that she would be good at something and had confidence in her. At the end, they realized she was very good at helping and organizing that talent show to make it run smoothly. So she ended up being the assistant of Mrs. Rice, which ended up working out perfect because that was her talent. So that is how you find the point of view. Definitely looking for those characters, feelings, and why what they say and what they do, and seeing how it changes, their point of view changes throughout the story with the story structure. All right. So today, though, friends, we are not reading a fictional story. Today, we're going to go into like some social studies and go into our scholastic news and read about some people on social media. Yes, social media, and how they feel about kids on social media at such a young age, specifically at your age. So, we're going to get the point of views, how people view this topic. All right. And that is their point of view. Now, can their point of view be different from yours? Yes. But we're not finding your point of view. We're finding the characters in our text today, their point of view, and how they feel. So, if the sub and my paper passers could go ahead and pass out our scholastic news, I'm going to share my article with you and go ahead and I need you also to pass out the blank piece of paper so you can start doing your graphic organizer. All right, I'm going to stop and share because I forgot to turn on the sound. I definitely want to turn on the sound. All right, there we go. I'm going to get this away because that's our notes, so keep our notes out. Now, on the blank piece of paper, you should be writing down your graphic organizer. It should look like this. You should have characters, points of view, and that text evidence. All right. Today, we're going to have 3 different points of view. So you'll have 3 different boxes. I have an extra one here just in case, but there is going to be 3 different points of views when we start reading about this article. Now, let me show you the article. This is the article. Scholastic News. And if you're still passing out or writing down the graphic organizer, go ahead and stop this video here to finish passing out and writing your graphic organizer. And then unpause it so you can continue. All right, now you should have your Scholastic News. Let's go ahead and look at the Scholastic News. It says, think before you post. This definitely has a hook to it, friends. It is showing me a really great hook here. Look at her face. Her face even gives me a point of view. It looks like she might have done something wrong and she doesn't know what to do about it. She might be a little scared about what she sees on that phone or a little worried. Definitely a point of view by looking at that illustration. And below it, it says, what you post on social media might be on there forever. That is 100% true. And you want to be careful on what you post because it could definitely get you in trouble. And people have done really bad things that they have gotten in trouble with the law. So you definitely want to pay attention to what you're doing. And you also want to make sure you're being nice and kind to others because would you want someone to treat you wrong, even if it's on the web? No. Here are ways to help you stay safe online. So we're going to read some ways to help us stay safe and the points of view of some kids that help them and how the ways they help them to stay safe. So let's go ahead and get started. Now looking at this, I see a lot of text features. We know our text features are features of the text. I want you to go ahead, pause this video, and turn and talk. What text features do you see in this text? All right, you should have paused the video and turned and talked. Now, some text features that you should have said is, let's see over here. We have the title, The Secrets of Social Media. We have over here a picture with a caption. And the caption says, never give out information about yourself online. That is very true. You do not want to give out information about yourself because people could really come and hurt you, and strangers could come and find you, and you do not want that to happen. Also, people could steal your identity. You don't want that to happen either. So yeah, there is this picture. And also the picture is sort of labeled because it says like a comment trick. What's your name? Where do you live? Yeah, you don't want to give those things out. Then you have down here some infograph. And today, for our questions on the back that you're going to have to turn in for a grade, it will be an infograph. But this is a different infograph. It says 8 to 12 years old spend nearly 5 hours on screens daily, not including school or homework. So an infograph is a picture that gives us information. And that's giving us information. And this one's giving us information. That's 12 people down here. 3 are blank. And it says 7 out of 10 5 to 8-year-olds, so 5 to 8-year-olds, have their own smartphone or tablet. Wow, a smartphone that at 5, but it says or tablet. So I'm thinking it's mostly a tablet, but wow. Also, some other text features is our headings. We have our post forever, digital drama, ooh, and beware of the share. Ooh. We also have another picture with another caption. Over here it says posting goofy videos of yourself can end up making you feel embarrassed. Isn't that like a point of view? It can make you feel embarrassed. Yeah, that is definitely a feeling. Wow. And then we have words to know, dilemmas. Dilemmas are problems that involve making difficult choices. And digital citizen, a person who uses technology to learn and create and participate. And then as you read, identify 2 ways people can be a good digital citizen. All right, so there's some text features, and I even like this little one under here, the subheading. You might think you're ready to join TikTok or YouTube, but do you know how to be responsible online? All right, friends, our most favorite one is our video. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the video. Listen carefully as I play it out loud. Go ahead and turn off the lights and listen.
Digital decisions. Pause before you post.
Okay, before I finish playing this, I'm going to make sure it's as loud as it possibly can get for you guys so you guys can hear it. Hold on. Get really loud. There we go. There we go.
Every time you post a video, share a selfie, or message your friend on social media, you leave behind an online trail called a digital footprint. And these footprints can last forever.
But I can delete my post, right?
Yes, but you can't control whether someone screen grabs it before you do. Plus, even deleted files are sometimes stored online, and you don't know it. So experts say it's important to be safe and responsible online. But let's face it, everyone makes mistakes sometimes. Here are some sticky situations you might face on social media. Think about how you would handle each one. Then, we'll hear what the experts have to say. Situation 1. Ava's friends are about to take a selfie, and she jumps in at the last minute. Her friend shows Ava the pic before she posts it. It's pretty cute and seems harmless. Should Ava give her friend the okay to post? Pause the video and discuss it with your class.
All right. Should she give her the okay to post it? Turn and talk. All right. You should have paused my video too. And let's see what they say.
Take a closer look at the pic. Ava's sweatshirt has the name of her school on it. And the street sign will let viewers know what street Ava lives on. Experts point out that some info is okay to share online, like your favorite color. But you should never tell anyone personal information, like your full name or birthday.
That is correct.
It's also important to make sure there are no clues in your photos or videos that could be used to identify you. Situation 2. Jaden wants more followers and likes on his posts. A lot of the popular kids in school are posting a gross new food challenge in the cafeteria. Should he try it? Pause.
All right. Gross new food challenge in the cafeteria. First of all, I think that would get you in trouble if you're spilling milk all over yourself and ruining food. Second of all, you're ruining your food. What are you going to eat? And that might make you sick if you do try to eat it after you do this gross food challenge. So I'm definitely going to say no, he should not try it just to get likes on TikTok, just to get likes on any social media. I mean, it's just likes. Why don't you actually try hanging out with your friends and talking to them and talking to them and see what they would like to do instead of doing this challenge for people on the social media that you don't even know.
Pause the video and discuss it with your class. Jaden might think this prank will be harmless, but what he'd be posting is against school rules. He'd likely get in trouble at school and at home. Bonus advice: anyone who will be your friend just because you posted a dumb challenge isn't really a friend.
That's what I said too.
Experts suggest always talking to a trusted adult, a parent, coach, or teacher, before posting anything like this. They'll be able to talk you through what might happen. For instance, they might warn Jaden that this type of prank is probably not the type of thing he wants his grandparents to see. Situation 3. Emma and her friend Arturo just got into a big argument. When Emma sees Arturo's latest post, Emma is so mad, she thinks the best way to get back at him would be to leave a mean comment on his post. Pause the video and discuss it with your class.
Do you treat your friends like that? If you get mad, you should talk to them about it, not post it where everyone else could see it. And then it causes drama with other people. Just like I say in class, remember how when someone calls out and says, so-and-so did this, and everyone gets off task and everyone sees it, and it is embarrassing. It's not only embarrassing for the person that you're tattletaling on or that you're telling on, it's also embarrassing for you because you just disrupted the class. So it's the same thing with social media. If you are going to post mean things about other people on there just to get back with them, it's embarrassing for them, and you wouldn't want to treat your friends that way. Also, it's embarrassing for you because think about how people are going to think about you if you are treating others meanly. I know if I saw someone treating someone else meanly on social media, I wouldn't want to be their friend because I wouldn't want them to treat me like that.
Class. Sure, Emma is furious with Arturo right now, but long after that feeling fades, her mean post will still be online. Even if she deletes it, who knows how many people will have already seen it. Not only will she humiliate her friend and hurt his feelings, but other kids might think she's a bully. Experts suggest always taking a moment to think about what you're posting before you click send.
This is a good point. In class too, think about what you say before you do it.
Online posts can last forever and have a big impact on yourself and others. So pause before you post. Your digital footprint will be with you for a long time.
All right, let's go ahead and let's start reading this to find the point of views of the kids in this article. Now, let me go ahead and put this away so we can bring it up and down real easy. Here we go. And I am going to do full screen, and you're going to go ahead and read.
Media literacy. The secrets of social media. You might think you're ready to join TikTok or YouTube, but do you know how to be responsible online? As you read, identify 2 ways that people can be good digital citizens. Anyone who uses the internet makes a digital footprint. That's a trail that includes anything you post or is posted about you. It can last forever, so experts say it's important to keep your footprint in good shape. That isn't always easy. Most social media apps say users must be at least 13 years old. Younger kids need an adult to set up an account. But even with an adult's permission, going online and posting can be tricky. There are going to be many dilemmas, says social media expert Emily Weinstein. Luckily, she has tips for how to be a good digital citizen.
All right, so let's look at these tips and see if we can find points of views of people or kids in these different tips, in these different sections. Let's go ahead and look at the first one. And after we're done reading the first one, we're going to stop and think, do I see a point of view of a character talking in this text?
Are posts forever? 10-year-old Andy from New York posted silly videos of himself on TikTok. Then he saw how many views they got.
Pause right there. Step one of point of view is to figure out, is the narrator in this story or outside the story? And in this case, you can see the word himself. Himself. And they're talking about Andy. They're not saying I, me, or my. So it has to be, everyone, third person. If you got third person, good job. So this text, our Scholastic News, is third person because an author or a journalist is writing about other people. So let's see how Andy felt when he was posting these videos.
I was embarrassed, Andy says. I regretted it.
Pause. I found it. Andy was embarrassed when he was posting silly videos of himself. I wonder why. Let's read on and then we'll put it in our graphic organizer.
But even deleting posts might not get rid of them forever. People can share screenshots of posts. Plus, posts can be stored online and we don't realize it. It's not always possible to delete, which is why it's important to think before we post, says Weinstein. She says good digital citizens also consider others. Always ask friends for permission before posting photos of them.
All right, let's go ahead and write that down. We have Andy is a character. His point of view is he was embarrassed that he, let's see, Andy from New York posted silly videos of himself. Yeah, he was embarrassed that he posted silly videos of himself. How do we know he was embarrassed? Of himself. 2 words. How do we know he was embarrassed? Well, it said it right there. I was embarrassed. It's on page 2. He said, I was embarrassed. on page 2. All right, let's go ahead and read the next section, see if we can find another point of view from a person or a kid talking.
Digital drama. Namya is a 10-year-old from Washington State. When she joined TikTok, she posted dance videos. At first, it was fun, Namya says. Then the drama started. People began posting rude comments on her videos, and Namya isn't alone. A recent study showed that 1 in 7 kids between ages 9 and 12 have been cyberbullied.
And what's sad about that, I was thinking that earlier it said you have to be 13 over here to be on social media. And it's sad that 9 and 12-year-olds are between 9 and 12-year-olds are getting cyberbullied because they're not even old enough to be on social media.
Experts say responding right away to negative comments will only keep the drama going. Instead, tell a trusted adult and report the comments to people who run the app.
Yeah, if you have negative
Beware.
if you have negative comments, it's definitely going to make you feel bad. And you don't want to respond to them because it's just going to keep people wanting to post more and more negative comments. So what you do is you, first of all, ignore them, don't comment back, and then go and tell an adult. So Nima, thinking of this section, Nima thought it was fun at first, but then drama started. So if drama started, I would definitely think she's like, didn't like it. And she was probably getting stressed and sort of sad about it. So I'm going to say that she did not like the drama in the comments that were happening. So I'm going to put Naima, or Naimia, and what is her point of view? She does not like the drama that comes with people's negative comments. Yeah, she doesn't like it. She said at first it was fun, but then the drama came. And that tells you right there. At first it was fun, then the drama started, she says. All right, people began posting rude comments on her videos. So there you go. You can see that she did not like that. So I'm going to put that at first, it. At first, it, and that was on page 3. Page 3. All right, let's go to the next session and see if we can find another one.
Of the share. Catherine, a 12-year-old from Louisiana, has nearly 200 friends on the app Roblox. But she knows only a few of them.
I know that a lot of you play Roblox. Even my own son plays Roblox. And you guys have friends. And he likes to have friends that he knows. But this person has 200. I bet you she doesn't know all of them.
In real life. During a chat, she told people her name and birthday. When Catherine realized her mistake, she felt nervous.
I saw the point of view. Raise your hand if you saw it. Who saw it? If you said that she felt nervous, that is it. Why did she feel nervous? Because she told them her name and her birthday to people she didn't even know, never met. And that is a problem because if you tell people your name and your birthday, they can look you up and they can try to find you. That is not good. Let's read on and we'll put that in our point of view. That's more in a second.
I wished I could undo the chat, but I couldn't, she says.
All right, let's go ahead and put that in our point of view. Her name's Catherine. And her point of view was she felt nervous. She felt nervous because She told people she didn't know her real name and birthday. All right. And right here, when Catherine realized her mistake, she felt nervous. So let's see. When Catherine realized and it was on page 3. As you can see, that is in the third person because the narrator is telling you how Catherine felt. She's not telling you how she felt. It was the narrator. All right. Now let's read the last part, the conclusion part.
Experts warn that it's dangerous to give away personal information online. For instance, tagging a location on a picture or post can show other people exactly where you are. Weinstein says, always trust your feelings. If you're worried or uneasy about something online, tell an adult right away.
All right, friends.
8 to 12-year-olds spend.
All right, friends. So we just read it. We just read a point of view. We got 3 different points of view from 3 different people that did something silly or not smart online. So you need to, one thing that you can learn from all of these points of views is you need to watch out for what you do on social media. Remember, finding the point of view, you need to find the text evidence that supports how the character is feeling. And in each one of these cases, we found sentences like, I was embarrassed. She didn't like it, the drama that was going on. Catherine realized her mistake and it made her feel nervous. So again, we found those sentences that show their feelings. And that is how you find a character's point of view. Now, what you are going to do, the first thing you are going to do is you are going to turn to the very back. I need every single one of you to put your name up there. Mine says teacher's page, but where you, on yours says name. Put your name up there right now. I can see you. Who's not putting their name up there? I see you. All right, friends. Now your name's up there. Your name's on there. This is what you are going to do. You need to turn it in. I'm going to say this again. It is for a grade. You need to turn it in. The sub is going to collect it. When you are done, you have to turn it in for a grade. If you do not turn it in for a grade, you get a 0. All right, listen carefully. You are going to do this right here. Groundhog's Day. Groundhog's Day was on February 2nd. This is an infograph. Remember, we've gone over infographics multiple times where it gives you lots of information and you must read everything. You must read every little thing on here to get all the information to be able to answer these 2 questions. Yes, you only have 2 questions that you have to answer. You are going to answer those 2 questions. Sorry, I went back. All right. So you need to answer these 2 questions. All right. Now, read the whole thing, answer these 2 questions. Then you are going to go back into the text that we just read and answers number 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are going to answer those questions. Go look back in the text. Remember, just because there are only a short amount of questions does not mean it is easy. Take your time to do it. You are going to do these questions. And then for your center work, you are going to go ahead and you are going to read about the Olympics that is going on. Okay, so there's a whole list of things you have to do. You are going to read about the Olympics. You are going to read this one on your own and see if you can find a point of view about an Olympian or about someone going to the Olympics and how they feel. Okay? Because as you can see, there's multiple people here going to the Olympics, and it is going on right now as we're speaking in China. So you are going to read this, and then you are going to go back and do 4 or 5 and 6. Okay? So let's review. 1, you're doing Groundhog's Day infograph, answering the questions, read the whole thing. 2, you are going to do the secrets of social media. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back into the text and look. Think about the question. We went over this. These can be tricky. You really need to stop and think about the question and think about the answer choices. Then, number 3, you are going to go and read Let's the Games Begin. Once you read that, then you're going to go back and answers 5 and 6. Okay? Now, listen carefully. You are not turning it in until after lunch because you also have to use this article for your FSA review, but it has to be turned in before you leave today. If it is not turned in before you leave, you will get a 0. You are going to use this article for the whole entire day, and before you walk out that door, you need to turn it into the sub. Does everybody understand? I can't hear you. Does everybody understand? All right. You have to turn it in before you walk out that door. So let's review. 1, Groundhog's Day infograph. 2, questions 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, read Let the Games Begin and do question 5 and 6. All right, go and do that. Eat your lunch, go to specials, and then we'll come back. And if you're in my second period class, you're just going to go ahead and do this. And then at 2:45, we'll come back and we will do the rest of it. All right, pause the video. All right, you should be back. Hi. All right. So you should have finished this Groundhog's Day, this whole entire back page. Your name should be at the top. You should have went back and looked into this to the text for those answers. You should have finished the whole thing. Okay. That's what you should have done. Now we are going to go back and we are going to review some questions. We're going to go back to the secret social media, and you are going to do this sheet that I have here. What I learned, and you're going to do close reading questions. There's 3 there. I'm going to give you 15 minutes to do that, and then we're going over the answers. So this is a part of our FSA review. This is the end of the day. All right. So go and use that article to look back into the text for your answers. Go. 15 minutes. All right. So you should have looked back. You should have really thought about them. Stop and think about the questions. Now let's review these questions. All right. So let's go ahead and start with what I learned. How old do most social media apps require users to be? So I'm going to look for those keywords, maybe not social media apps because the whole thing's about social media. Maybe the word require would be a good word. So let's go back and look. Let's see. Require. I didn't see the word required, but I saw the word
At least
13.
13 years old. Younger kids.
Let me see. Social media apps say users must be at least 13 years old. There you go. So that is the answer. Let's go back and at least 13 years old. There you go. Let's circle that one. Next one. Which phase in the article means anything you post or posted about digital footprint or digital citizen? Well, I saw that in the words to know. So let's go back and look at the words to know. Let's see. Words to know. Oh, digital citizenship. A person who uses technology to learn and create. Let's see. Could that be the answer? Oops, I'm doing all these other ones. Let's do this one. Let's see. Which phase in the article means anything you post or posted about you? Well, I don't think it's digital citizenship, so it must be digital footprint. But let me just double check and see if I can find that answer. Digital footprint, digital footprint, digital footprint. Because it's not digital citizenship. Footprint. Let's see, footprint, good citizenship. Cyberbullying. I'm looking for footprint, digital footprint. No, I don't see it over here. Let me go back over here. Oh, right here. Anyone who uses internet makes a digital footprint. That's a trail that includes anything you post or is posted about you. There you go. So it is digital footprint. So number 2, it's digital footprint. You should have gone back and looked for the answer in your text. If someone posts negative comments about you, what do many experts say you should do? Respond to them or tell an adult? Well, let me look for that keyword, negative comments, because that's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Negative comments. Oh, negative, right here. Experts say responding to negative comments will only keep the drama going. Instead, tell a trusted adult. There you go, it's right there. So you should have wrote down, tell a trusted adult. All right, complete the sentence. Catherine felt nervous after telling people her blank and blank. Oh, let's look for Catherine felt nervous. And I remember that section. Was right here, Catherine.
Catherine, a 12-year-old.
Pause. And when Catherine realized her mistake, she felt nervous. Well, what did she tell them? So let's read it before it. Let's see. But she knows only a few of them in real life. During a chat, she told them her name and birthday. Oh, so you should have put down right here, name, and you should have put down birth date. There you go. Name and birth date. A study showed that 1 out of 7 kids between the ages of 9 and 12 has reported being, let's look for that 9 out of 12. Let's see what that one is. 9 out of 12. So let's look for 9 out of 12. We're looking for those keywords back in our text to help us answer. Oh, look, I found it.
Ages 9 and 12 have been cyberbullied.
There we go. They've been cyberbullied. So as you can see, when we're answering questions, you just need to find a keyword from the question and look back in your text to help you answer it. And right here, this is cyberbullying. There we go. What are 2 things you can do to be a good citizen? Oh, let's see. Oh, hold on, let me get my mouse. What are 2 things we could do to be a good citizen? Well, one of them, she says good citizens also consider others. Ooh, consider others. Let's see what else they do. She said also, so let's read before it. It's not always impossible to delete, which is why it's important to think before you post. Oh, think before you post and consider others. There you go. There's 2 things because we looked for that word, good digital citizens. So we are going to write, we look for that keyword, good digital citizen, and it said, you can think before you post and consider others' feelings. Yeah, so think before you post and consider how other people would feel too. And that is how you can be a good digital citizen. All right, so we went over those two. Now, friends, we went over this paper. Well, all right, now let's go ahead and I'm going to cancel out that one. Press new, and I'm going to clear all drawings. And let's go ahead and answer these questions. Based on the article, what is a person's digital footprint? Oh, we already went over that. So let's go and look back again. And I saw that word digital footprint. We're leaving that keyword digital footprint. It's right here. It says anyone who uses the internet makes a digital footprint. That's a trail that includes anything you post or is posted about you. So a trail of anything you post or things that are posted about you. So let's go ahead and write that down. If you didn't write it, if you didn't get that answer, that is a trail on the internet of anything you post or things that are posted about you. There you go. Let's do the next one. The next one says, why shouldn't kids count on being able to delete social media? Well, why shouldn't they count on being on social media? Because remember right here, it said that guy was embarrassed, right? It's not always possible to delete, which is why it is important to think before you post. Yeah, things are not always able to be deleted. That's why you should think before you post. All right, so why shouldn't kids count on being able to delete it? It is not always possible to be deleted. And from the video, if you remember from the video, I'm going to add that part too because it's a part of the text. From the video, it said that sometimes people can take a snap of it before you delete it and they'll have it forever. And people can see it before it is deleted and they will always have it. There you go. Now let's do number 3. I'm going to clear this off. Last one. Why does the author put quotation marks around the words friends in the section beware the share? So this one is an inferencing, and you really have to think about it. Now it says over here that Catherine, a 12-year-old from Louisiana, has nearly 200 friends. Now they put this in quotation marks because it's not that she's saying something, it's saying that she has friends. Now when they put a word in quotation marks like that, it means it's not necessarily friends, right? Just like if I said popcorn, I'm eating popcorn. It could be like I'm eating candy, right? And I'm saying it's popcorn because I don't want to get in trouble. So whenever someone puts quotation marks around a word, there's what it is saying is it means something different. Sort of like an idiom, how we say something, but it means something totally different. It's non-literal. Well, when an author puts quotation marks around a word, they mean something different. It's non-literal. So here, friend, when they go do that, say friends, they're really not her friends. They're just people that have added her to Roblox. Does she really know them? No, she doesn't. As it says over here, it says, but she knows only a few of them. She's never really met all of them. So they're friends. They're not really friends. They're just people who added her to Roblox. So let's write that down. That's what it means when an author puts quotation marks around one word. They mean something different than what they what it actually said. It's non-literal. So let's write that down. The author puts quotation marks around friends because it means something different than the word friends. Now that would be if you put it around anything. Like I said, if I said I'm eating popcorn and I don't want to get in trouble from my mom, I say I'm eating popcorn, but it's not really popcorn, it's candy that looks like popcorn or something like that. That's what I would do and tell my friends, I'm eating popcorn. Don't tell my mom I'm eating popcorn. I mean something different, all right? So she has friends. It means something different than friends. They are just people that are added to her Roblox and not really friends she knows. There you go. And you always want to be aware of that, because if you add people you don't know who's on that other line and they're going to be trying to get you. And you have to be very careful with social media. All right, so now I'm going to stop sharing. We are done with the day. Remember we have to stop and think, use those keywords, go back and look. And when we're trying to find that point of view, friends, you are looking for text evidence that shows how the characters feel. Now, before you leave, you must take your Scholastic News and turn it in for a grade. Do not leave without taking that Scholastic News, because that very last page is what I am grading. And that's why we did not go over the answer, because I am grading it. All right, friends, I will see you tomorrow, bright and early. And remember to study your spelling words and vocabulary words and practice your point of view, looking for text evidence that shows you how they feel at the beginning, middle, and the end. Bye, friends.